Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome to Good Old Fashioned Garrison House Podcast today. I'm
Hello.
Darnell.
And I'm
And
Angela.
again, this is
Garrison
Garrison House.
House.
Yeah, we got it.
Yes. Take three.
Three.
I don't know.
Well, I hope it's not take three.
Yeah. I don't know. So, welcome and thank you for joining us on this evening. How are you guys doing? We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing really good. We're having fun, doing what we do.
Do
Do
what
what
we
we do,
do.
trying to make things happen. But one of the things we want you all to do, as you see on the bottom there, under the welcome and greetings, tips and donations, we do take those at garrishousepodcast.com.
Yes.
You can correspond with us.
Right.
The easiest way right now is to go through our Spotify. You can go to the Garrison House Podcast on Spotify. You can message us because apparently that's how a lot of people have been getting messages to us. We appreciate those who are listening to us and watching us on Spotify.
Yes.
We appreciate you all for.
I'm waving. They probably can't see me waving.
Well, on Spotify, they get the video too. And then Spotify sends the audio to YouTube, which we already send the video to YouTube. But anyway.
We don't send a video to YouTube.
No, they send audio to YouTube.
Yes, I know that.
So, but the Spotify people do get to watch us. So, hey, thank you. Those who are new. Talked to some people about it, and today is daylight savings time. Welcome to the shortest day of the year. I felt it because I had to deal with some computers today, and but anyway, you can always correspond with us. You can also visit our website, garrishousepodcast.com, and find out all how to watch us. And then we have, I'll let her do this part. We're still doing it.
Yes, indiemovietickets.com. Please go to indiemovietickets.com. And we are planning on re-releasing the movie in theaters. And this is actually a re-release. So we did release it almost 2 years ago. We did run it again last year, and so we plan on doing it again this year. So please go to indiemovietickets.com. That's INDIE movietickets.com. And register. It's a free registration. There's no costing you anything. We're just going to let you guys just know if you're interested, just let us know if you're interested in seeing the movie, and that way we can understand, get at least a head count. And we are independent filmmakers, and every dollar counts. So we just want to make sure that we're not frivolously
making an investment, right, and no one shows up. Basically, we want to make sure people show up,
and we hopefully, yes, you would choose to show up, and actually might still pull the trigger, and by faith you guys would come on and pull it through for us. We're looking at possibly sometime in April or May, but however, just let us know, registering, free registration, no obligation, but however it helps us to understand how many people are interested in seeing the re-release of Hosanna the movie.
Yeah, and what you saw there was from our music video, so you can go Hosanna. I think it's DeLorean Cotton Hosanna. It's the name of the song. So if you do search YouTube DeLorean Cotton Hosanna, you can see the actual music video there. So yeah, we have a pretty full program today for you all.
Yes.
It's Cashmere Week. Those who know that we do we do every week on Cashmere. However, on social, we do try to be a little lighthearted. So what's going to happen today. It's going to be a little bit of politics, a little bit of information. And just as a caveat, we're not trying to pick sides in our political conversations. Yes, do we have a political viewpoint? Yeah. However, we're trying to analyze it and give you a way. We want you to think. We don't want to set up here and say, well, this is what we think you should do. We want our whole purpose is for you to think it through. Don't just go in and jump in. Like my cousin, he did a video the other day saying, hey, because people are wondering why the protests are going to where the black folk at. He said, well, we're sitting it out. He's not the only one I've heard say that. So that is going around now. People are saying the black community is sitting it out. We're going to let y'all do it. We tired. And he made a point and said, yeah, we tired, but we're also tired of some of the shenanigans. But anyway, let's get to our first topic. The BOI. Oh my goodness.
BOI reporting, no more. Bye.
Notice how I put exclamation question point mark. We don't know. From our understanding.
Well, it is going to be, it's permanent. Look, let me bring it up here. So if you did not know, Terrence
Put you.
Terrence, his name is Terrence K. Williams, and he loves Donald Trump. There you go. He has his Donald Trump hat on, and he posted it stating
about ending it.
oops,
Okay,
sorry.
the beneficial.
I'll turn off the audio.
So he posted it saying that Elon Musk, I'm begging you, please ask President Trump to get rid of this ridiculous BOI rule that Biden created. It is targeting conservatives and small businesses. I just received an email saying I must fill out beneficial ownership information report every year or be fined $591 a day or $10,000 fine and prison time. They don't need to collect personal data every year. This is insane, Elon Musk. And Elon Musk did respond and said, I can take a look into it. And then you can come back, baby. I just got to find it. And then a day later, no more than a day later, President Trump. Exciting news. The Treasury Department has announced that they are suspending all enforcement of the outrageous and invasive beneficial ownership information reporting requirement for U.S. citizens. This Biden rule has been an absolute disaster for small business nationwide. Furthermore, Treasury is now finalizing an emergency regulation to formally suspend the rule for American businesses. The economic menace of BOI reporting will soon be no more. So what's happening is because it was part of the Reduction Inflation Act, the Transparency Act, they can't necessarily get rid of it all the way because it was voted in. However, they can change it.
Right.
So nobody said that they can change it. It reminds me way back, with the ISL trial. She said that, yes, she has to give you what she does, but she said that she can also give you this. So technically, that's what she did. She changed, so that's what it is. And they're planning on, only enforcing it for foreign businesses,
which to me is fair because the whole point of, to me, the BOI thing, I didn't know that it was yearly. Yeah. First of all, anybody who owns a business, especially state of Michigan, we are required every year to file our annual report. It's called an annual report. This annual report comes with a $25 fee. It's not free. And if you fall behind, they do penalize you. They do have a cap on penalizing. But they're not going to come knock on my door with the Michigan State Police and say, you're under arrest because you didn't file out your annual report. Just when you go back up to Lansing, they're going to say, well, you owe, and we won't go there with mine because I do need to take care of ours for one of our businesses. Right. However, it's a pretty big fine to get everything restarted.
You have up until 10, right? So with the BOI, you had up until $10,000 and imprisonment if you do not fill a piece of paper out saying that you were What they were trying to do is they were trying to get the sole ownership of a business, and if you were that way, they can find out who can they go after if something happens to the business. Well, we're a small business. What we plan on doing? How are we planning on getting rid of money?
I want to see the congressional. I want to see where Congress is getting their wealth from, because Congress people are going in with a net worth of $29,000 or $29,000 or maybe a little bit more, under $100,000 net worth, and within 2 years their net worth is $4 million, $5 million. Anything, we want to see their report, because it makes, as people say, make it make sense to me. How do you go into public office serving the people? Nearly no money, and then I'm not gonna say her name. I saw how she was before she went in there, and when she got down where she's at, they said she was worth her personal net worth was about $50,000. Then all of a sudden she got into office. Now her net worth is $4 million. Make that make sense. She's only been in office for I think 2 or 3 years. Make that make sense to me. I don't understand this. So if anything, we need to get reporting from them. Annual reporting. Okay, representative, both sides. Okay, why are you worth this? Can we see your returns? Because we want to know what you're doing to get this wealthy.
What is your 401k?
What are you doing? Because we're only paying you $100,000 and something a year. How are you worth this much money? If in my opinion, for those who got government people who are in office, who we elect to represent us,
Well, I mean,
if you're net worth that amount, you need to do like the president does. Well, I guess I got to work for free now.
well, that's brand reputation. So, depending on why your brand,
Why they selling merch? They shouldn't be allowed to sell merch.
and not necessarily selling
Well, actually, the
merchandise as
president's still
opposed
selling
to
merch.
appearances. And this is how much you get to make an appearance. So the more louder you are, the more appearance. But see, you got to remember too, though, the citizens of her district or that district or his district
Sorry.
pays for, I know, but pays for their living expense. They get money by for living expenses, and they get money for fixing up the
Transportation.
office and
Yeah,
transportation,
yeah.
all that. So technically, the money they're getting, they don't have to use it because the government, the people are using it. So they're probably just talking in general. This is how much the office, being in part of this district's office, this is how much it's going to cost the taxpayer people, the city, your constituents. This is wow. This is how much it's going.
Light makes a difference.
Yeah, this is how much it's going to cost your constituents to. So that's probably where it's paper.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually dollars, but it's paper because I'm quite sure they're not spending that much money because they don't have it. When she got into the office, she complained about how she's supposed to afford all this. Now all of a sudden she forgot her training and why she was there in the first place. Now she's living off the people and trying to up her brand. And most of the time, it's people who they're doing it so that way to further their career in the office. Because next, after the House, maybe it's the Senate. After the Senate, maybe it's government or governor or from the president.
But
Eventually, yeah.
Two of the people that I'm talking about in general, these two ladies, Lord help us. If they were to run, it's.
They sometimes people don't like loudness. They want.
The thing is, I want calmness, and at this present moment, I'm looking at the one side of the aisle. I'm going, can we please grow up? I mean, come on. I didn't like it when the Republicans acted up. I don't like it when the Democrats act up. Let's have a level of decorum because the world is watching. So, the whole world is looking at us, and we're supposed to be a democracy, which we're not. We're a republic or a representative democracy, which means our elected officials are our elected officials. They are not our leaders. The biggest mistake we make, and I've been saying this for decades, the biggest mistake we make is we keep calling them our leaders. They're not our leaders. We are their lead. We are their bosses. So they are our representatives. So we don't send them there to lead us. We send them there to give the will of us. Our will is what they're supposed to do. And the only really civil, level-headed person there in DC right now is John Fetterman. Mr. I don't wear
the Democrats.
Yeah. He's the only level-headed one that I actually find refreshing to hear. Actually, it's because even some of the Republicans be tripping. But
right.
He's the only refreshing one that I'm like, dude, you're a breath of fresh air. You're literally saying, hey, I'm here to represent my people. So he understands the assignment. He understands at this moment to see how he does after a couple of years. But at this moment, he's the only one that seems to understand the assignment that we're here to represent the people. Even Trump he says he's here to represent the people. But anyway, Terrence Williams, when he did do that, now I know he said Republicans, but it actually affected all business owners, especially minorities. Majority of your food truck owners, your hot dogs, people who don't know that. And I didn't send you a letter.
Granted, yes, it's just, again, we're going back to the whole 5 points email. And yes, it is it's just an easy way just to fill out a form. It doesn't take that long. Fill it out. It's free. But the problem I had was the website. It was financial crimes. And so it's like, wait a minute, hold on. So I know how it feels to somebody, I don't know personally, but I know somebody who had to report and go up and report certain things every so often. And so now you're saying we got to report our business as if we were criminals.
Right.
And so, because if it wasn't, maybe if it was just going on to the Treasury Department's website, okay, I think we probably, but you're talking about financial crimes.
Right.
And it's like that's the problem. That's where I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, owning a business. So I was already, well, I did shut it down, but I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I don't need a business because if something goes down, they'll find some way to find a way to put you in jail for my little $50 I sell off of lingerie, because
Well,
they're coming after you.
We can gladly still sell. We still have a lot of lingerie available here in
And
stock. We do have inventory.
just a quick thing before we say that this is from the Treasury Department. They did state the Treasury Department is announcing today that with respect to the Corporate Transparency Act, not only will it not enforce any penalties or fines associated with the beneficial ownership information reporting rule under the existing regulatory deadlines. So it is coming from the Treasury. I believe if you go to the website, I'm not quite sure. I haven't gone to the website, but we were supposed to. The Treasury was actually trying to fight it themselves. The Treasury was actually trying to fight it themselves. They were trying to because of this Texas judge, hey, I'm rings. Because of the Texas judge fighting for another company, it became worldwide. So then the Treasury fought it again and tried to raise it to the next level. And then they said, okay, and then it was reversed. And so on March 21st, it was when we were supposed to have completed registration on the form, created the form by that time. And that's when Terrence posted it and say, "Hey, what's going on?" And a lot of people tried. I was following this one YouTuber. He did try to do it too, but Terrence was able. He has the ear. He has the ear to the president. So
he's one of the. I hate to say, he's kind of a more. He's the megaphone of the conservative side.
The black megaphone.
The black megaphone of the conservative side. If this him and what's her name get in the same room,
Candace.
No, that can't. No, Candace will get with you too. I'm talking about Jasmine. If Jasmine and Terrence in the room, I was like, you know what? We need to leave this room. Go get nuclear because they could go. I believe Terrence Howard and Jasmine Crockett.
Terrence Williams.
Terrence Williams and Jasmine. I believe Terrence Williams and those two. Yeah, I don't think that it would be a nuclear situation between them two because they're both passionate about their views and they both will. I'll just say it would be bad. Now, Candace will have to be the moderator, but Candace would get with you too.
All right.
But anyway, the next one.
To post or not to post? That is the question. I don't even think I have I don't know if you remember where it was, but the question is, this is kind of like a fun thing here. We were listening, I saw it before, and I just never told him about it. It was a woman from Alaskan Airline, and she ended up, she was so excited, supposedly she was excited about completing her I don't know.
She finished her probationary period.
Thank you, baby. And so she decided she wanted to twerk inside the plane and posted it on TikTok, right? So then they ended up firing her. Okay. And so then she comes back and she explained why she did it. And hopefully now, I hope it was, I hope that, yes, it was a error, right? I mean, look, this should not kill her career. No. Okay, she made a mistake, and hopefully somebody else will say, okay, you know what? I know that you did, and I don't know if she should have. I mean, it is what it is. They fired her, but I mean, I'm all for at least suspending her, or because she just, I mean, she got a she said this is the reason why she did it. And twerking on a plane, I mean, it was nobody even there. That was even worse than there's one woman, she was twerking on top of a patient, and she was a CNA, and she was twerking on top of a patient. And so, that one, that's different because, you need to get your butt fired. And so with her, it was something she was excited for. People do stupid stuff when they're excited, and hopefully this doesn't kill her career, and maybe some airline will take a chance back on her and hire her back.
My point is this, and it's no difference than this one gentleman who posted dancing. He would dance with one of his patients, and he's just being, showing some fun with one of his patients, and he posted it, and he lost his job with the client. And I'm looking, I don't want to post that. I don't want to show it. But she, basically, I'm looking at the video. She was just having fun.
Right.
She was having fun. But the same with this other guy. The patient was an elderly patient. And he would just dance and do this funny dance. Actually, you've seen him. If you know the video, he will always do a video to him because the gentleman passed away I'm not saying as a result. However, the gentleman lost his job over somebody posting. So now people are just really going into social media, anything you do. Now, in both situations, I don't like pulling the card. In both situations, they were people of color.
Now, the question I have, was it the twerking or the fact that she was just dancing on the plane? Look, now, if she was dancing,
I'm put it up.
Now, if she was just, dancing and having a good time, I guess they probably wouldn't have been a problem, but because I guess, is it the twerking or I don't know? She like that part right there. She was just having a fun time.
Right.
But was it the fact that she started to twerk? Now, she still had got fired if she was just bouncing around and having a good time on the plane? Probably not.
So. Well,
but
no.
But twerking, I mean, I don't know. I would have had maybe suspended her. And I mean, I think it was half cocked reaction. Hey, what do you call it? Foot mouth reaction or something? Knee jerk reaction.
Let me be something here. Alaska Airlines, y'all need as much publicity as y'all can get. Y'all had doors falling off of airplanes. Come on. Yeah. I mean, I fly more. I fly more than Angie, and I can tell you, I've been on flights where the flight attendants were hilarious, comedic, telling jokes. Because sometimes you got light in the room. Now, this situation here, there's no passengers on the plane, and she knew that wouldn't have been appropriate to do it in front of a passenger.
Right. So I think it was this.
I think it was a knee-jerk reaction because this is the reason why some people say, "Well, you should give your social." Some companies want your social media handles. My thing is, no, you good. You don't need it. You don't need. I mean, okay, I'll create one for you to have, but you don't need my social networking handles because that way they can monitor what you're posting, and sometimes jealousy. Jealousy. This could be a play of jealousy. Well, somebody saw her doing it, and they got mad. Somebody didn't like her. They probably didn't like how she looked, and so it could have been internal. Somebody complained and said, "Look what she did."
And it could be. And then, you got trolls. Trolls would complain just because, and then they had to react because it was maybe a troll complained about it. People started to post complaints about it and try to get her fired. People do that just to be trolling. And then we had it where, for most of my job was a medical job. Most of the time with medical, you can't post patients' information online or show anything that deals with patients' information because of the HIPAA violation. And then if somebody that works with me likes it, then they can also get fired because liking it too. So that kind of way that it works. But as I was saying, there was nobody on the plane. The plane was empty. I think they should at least suspended her. Right. And then after 30 days, I mean, quite sure she could have, and she probably is maybe going through a fight trying to get her job back. She probably could get her job back. But again, it's probably because of the online trolling on it, and people told her that she needed to get fired. It's probably why they were probably doing it. And another thing, to post or not to post.
Bring up Miss Jasmine.
So
here we go, Miss Jasmine. We're gonna do music.
This is bigger than the music.
So
they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like.
So we
What's
know
that
what
on the
the
beat,
song
bro?
means
Deep
and all this,
he a
and
freak,
she's
bro.
trying to be sister girl, So, and she posted this trying to say that she's the one, she is it. So should she have posted it? Should she have not posted it? To post or not to post? That's the question we have. You come out of it, baby. I'm gonna stop it.
All right.
Yeah. So I thinking that you are representing more than just the black community and the black women. So you are representing more than that. And posting this is not doing nothing more but then elevating yourself.
Right.
So if you wanted to boast about something that you did because you thinking you did something good, then post that.
Show the good.
Show the good. Not the fact that you're doing this to show that you the girl. I'm Miss It. So no, that this is something that she shouldn't have posted. I think she shouldn't have posted. I get it. Plus the way she posted, she actually posted it on the Congresswoman website. So on her X account, not Jasmine Crockett. Now, maybe it was Jasmine Crockett, her actual X account by herself, maybe, but this is actually her actual Congresswoman, as Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett. What's the difference? Well, because Trump has his personal X account, and he also has the POTUS one. There's a difference. So yeah.
Well, all his accounts are his. He doesn't even the POTUS one. Somebody else does that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Yeah,
What's the difference between the two accounts? POTUS. If you posting something as a White House representative, you talking about, and think about it. If Trump posted something like this with some type of narrative behind the song itself, people have been all on it and complain up and down all around. But yet, Jasmine Crockett and black people are still like, oh yeah, that's it.
She's having fun, but there's an appropriate. This is what we're saying. We got to move to the next topic here. However, what we're saying is, I'm glad to see they're having fun.
Right.
I mean, it's fun to have fun. However, let's get to you can be dancing, but let's get to work.
Right.
I mean, my opinion is
she's been doing circuits. She's been running that circuit.
We can dance after we work together, not sit up here being the resistance. We can work. That's when you can dance. You can do all that. But if we're not working together, it's not time to be out here having fun. It's time to be working and.
They show up just enough time to vote no on a bill
and
go away, and they back on doing their little circuit training.
Yeah, because they're always saying we're here trying to save the democracy, and I'm like, okay, let's see here. Our founding fathers with a great list to ensure that we are a republic, not a democracy. In fact, the word democracy does not appear in any Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, or any other founding documents. So every time I hear that, I go. Okay, we're not a democracy. So when y'all hear me say that, that's what I'm referring to. But let's get on to our next topic because I kept resetting the clock, so I had to change some things here. Let's see. Now, here we go.
The 40-day boycott has started. I think it started on Ash Wednesday.
On the 3rd.
It was the 3rd? Okay.
It started on the 3rd. Y'all see my face. It's like...
So technically, ain't nobody had no money anyway. They try to buy nothing. I'm like,
you had the list of the boycott. I was look. That's how I was stumbling in that. I was looking for that list that you had. I don't know if you saved it. If you did, it's in our folder.
It might be. It wasn't in the folder. I think I might. I don't know.
It wasn't in the folder, so I'm hunting for it because
I can't remember why I had it. I think I googled it or something.
Because to me. Okay.
Well, the 40-day boycott. This is not necessarily the 40-day boycott. This is what Jamal Bryant. His was a 40-day
fast against Target.
So that's what his was. So that's what his thing was. So that's a little bit different than the whole. I don't think I have it in there.
I don't see it because I'm finding everything. But
it's like they have like in April. I think next one be April. They want you to. Don't go shopping at Amazon or something like do Amazon or don't do Walmart or something like that. And I mean, we talked about it last week, and we're just saying that You know what?
I'm
Have
gonna
a mind of your own.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta
I
do.
could understand where if they were actually literally going after black products and they're taking black products off the shelf, we can work with you on that. But you're talking about canceling programs. Programs are canceled all the time. They come, they go. Why do we need a program that should have been at common sense to do something? Programs probably were needed back then. Yes, I will say that. And most of the time, most of the time people didn't even know what programs were offered. And the only reason why these companies were doing programs because of tax breaks, tax dollars, incentives for having hiring certain ethnic groups or certain people. So I mean, but again, that's just the equal opportunity employment. They is already there established for this is what they have to do anyway. So if they say, okay, I'm going to do a government party, I'm going to do a government, so I'm going to go ahead and do this because I get a tax break. I want to hire this person because I'm getting a tax break. I remember, well, she's passed away now, but my husband's sister, they were trying to recorporate people with disabilities into the workforce instead of just having them to sit around. Where do you think that money came from? They're not just putting them in these work and then no company, not a company is actually not hiring them to do a job. They're just getting tax dollars and to have them go and do this. Just like years ago, if you've seen a worker with a mentally disabled person go into a McDonald's and they're cleaning the counters and the floors and stuff. McDonald's are not paying for that.
No,
it's a government program that funded that allow these to do it. They're giving me these contracts in order to do it, in order to have them to say that they're actually giving them money to do a job. Which is anything wrong with that? No, not necessarily. It's nothing wrong with it, but don't say that they're doing it out of goodness of their heart. Nothing's always out of the goodness of their heart.
No, it's not. I'm about to show you the leader of this 40-day boycott because some of y'all don't know what he looks like. And I'm gonna
along with everything else I got in my file.
I'm gonna show you who the guy who's organizing this. Now, most of y'all are hearing, this is why anybody who's heard things Malcolm X, just Google it for yourself. Some of the words, some of the sayings he says. Now, I'm not a Muslim, however, I've heard some things he said. But when you see who's leading this is why some people are saying, some black folk are saying, you know what, we're going to set this one out. You good? You can go ahead and just do it. Let me see. I think this is what I want to do. So there's the guy who's leading the 40-day boycott against retailers. John Schwartz is his name.
Right.
And this is the reason why so many black folk are like, oh, yeah, we'll set this one out. You got it. You got this one. We good. This is the reason why a lot of us are like, the Jamal one has probably a little more oomph in the black community because of who he is.
Right.
But that's the gentleman who's doing the 40-day boycott.
Right. So he's doing the 40-day boycott, but Jamal's doing the 40-day fast against Target.
But which people who has attached themselves to it?
Mm-hmm.
Which culture has really attached to it?
I mean, even so, even a lot of international people, I don't even call them international citizens, I guess. They're boycotting against certain companies because they support Israel. So they feel like, because of this whole Israel and Hamas war or Palestine war, so they're boycotting certain companies because of their support. Yeah, that's one of the things. And sometimes it'd be so bad where if you show a Starbucks cup on your screen, they go, oh, did you know we're not? Oh, they know you're not supposed to have that because because they support this. I'm like, so have your own opinion whether you want to support or you don't want to support. It's up to you. But again, look, I'm just saying. Nowadays, for the last 4 years, ain't nobody can't afford to do nothing anyway.
And everybody's been boycotting everything. The
we
reason
got to pay their electric bill right now.
the main reason people are doing these boycotts heavier is because the way that the Bud Light one was. The Bud Light boycott was extremely successful. The reason why it was successful is they got hit from both sides.
Right.
Now, the bulk of the money comes, I'm just going to say a lot of people who did Bud Light were people who were people who drink beer. So you had a large amount and they really were everywhere. So people stopped buying it because they weren't supporting what they were doing, which that boycott made no sense because it's not like they were putting Dylan Mulvaney's face on every can. It was just like if they put Garrison House on this bottle of water or Arizona iced tea can, they put our pictures on there. Does that mean that there's something wrong with that? No. It's just they did like Dylan or not. It didn't. That boycott made no sense. However, it happened, so we just deal with it. I understand why they did it. I understand why they did it, but to me, it necessarily
the image of the person on it.
It was the person.
It was the fact that the way it was presented and the way the person said it was the fact that I don't know nothing about football anyway. But look, that was the problem. So you're going to tell me you know nothing about football, so why would you put a person who is geared to the football players and they're up here saying
March Madness,
right? Basketball. Well, she said football too. I thought
maybe. Okay.
I don't know, but that was the problem. I think they would have been fine. Technically, it probably would have just been fine with it. Whatever it is, what it was. But when she didn't know how to
in a bathtub at that.
Right, and she didn't know how to. This is probably her first sponsor, right? And so I don't know,
Nike.
and so they didn't know how to present it a way where we're not going to alienate the men of football or basketball, whatever they were trying to show.
Well, the problem it
was just a personal can. It wasn't even something that was all over.
It wasn't mass produced.
That was the problem, really. I think.
Then they went after Nike because Dylan was on doing Nike. I'm like, okay, people, this.
Nike, come on,
you'll be all right. It's just like
Nike's been doing all that stuff anyway.
When you see people doing this 40-day boycott. It's like you're literally.
You can't boycott a corporation when it's international.
Right, especially like I said last week. Amazon, really?
Amazon's everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, most of your apps run on the Amazon back end. Is Amazon is running a lot of your apps that you have on your devices. A lot of your so boycotting Amazon is not going to hurt them one bit.
It reminds me of teach a person to fish. They fish for a day, but give them a fish. They will only eat for one day, or whatever, how that ever saying goes.
Right.
If you're just boycotting a 40-day boycotting, you're just getting a fish. That's it.
No, they ain't gonna have no fish because they boycotting everything that gives them. They gotta go out there. In fact, you gotta have a fishing license to go fish. So you gotta go to the DNR, get a fishing license to go fish because you're not gonna then you gotta go get you some chickens because you're boycotting everything that. Because everything is connected. Everything's a conglomerate.
But at least with Amazon workers, they're trying to incorporate unionizing it, unionizing the workers, and so that's at least they're doing something to help themselves in order to continue. But you're talking about we're going to boycott Amazon and. So because they're not doing this, and it's like, what about the millions of workers who employees? So that's the reason what I was saying is, you're the fish. You're just doing a 1-day eating, and now you have to go back and try to do it again. At least their employees of Amazon is trying to unionize in order to be able to fish more, be able to have the pole to fish.
Which that's another story in itself because all the Amazon drivers work for subcontractors.
Right.
So only vehicles Amazon actually owns are the EVs.
Well, the delivery is one thing too, and now Amazon talking about firing almost 100,000 workers and making everything automated.
Well, it's already automated. There's robotics running the facilities.
Right. They're already adding robotics.
They really nowadays in today's world, you don't need as many employees to do the work because most of the warehousing today, a lot of this stuff is the pick and pull is done automated. There's some downsides to going 100% automated, and there's some upside. Upside, yeah, they save a little bit of money. However, when the robot, everything has to be perfect. So now you're going to use robots to stock it and everything. We shall see, but there will be less opportunities for employment as technology grows. That's what we're going to have to deal with in the future. But you know your stuff here.
Yeah. So know your benefits. I've been watching again. I've been on social, reading a lot of things about people and their insurance plans and how they're having to do certain fights with the insurance plan. There was one incident where I believe it happened where the gentleman said that he was on the phone with his customer service rep, and he was saying that his daughter got into I'm assuming got in an accident. She had to take an ambulance ride to the ER, and so they end up getting a bill for $600. He looked at the bill and realized that it didn't attach his insurance. So he called him up and submitted his insurance, and then later on he gets a bill for $1,300 because now they added the insurance to his bill. So that goes back to know your benefits. Okay, so I kind of would believe it because first of all, depending on what type of insurance you have, most likely they probably had a PPO with a high yielding deductible. Okay, which means that if it was employee based, usually it's not that high, but it means that you have to pay at least your deductible plus the co-insurance in order to and to pay for your services if you have a PPO. And so, which is normally 20%, and the most of the deductible is $3,000 for family. That's the most of it's employee based, and then $1,500 if it's individual based. So that's the reason why they probably did come up with a $1,300 bill. But if they meet their deductible, they didn't have to worry about that deductible anymore. But he was saying was, well, can I just now get the $600? Unfortunately, no. That's the reason why you need to know your benefits, because now, if he didn't say nothing, if you knew, okay, wait a minute, now I got a $1,500 deductible, plus I got to pay for the 20% on the ER. You know what? I think I'll just stick with the $600.
He took his blessing and gave it away.
Gave away your birthright.
It's just like me. I had to have a dental procedure done, and she saw something in the quote, so I'll see talking about. But the procedure is something that has to be done, okay? And it will technically wipe out all my dental benefits for the year.
I mean, dental benefits is not that much anyway, but still.
You really don't have that. So I said, well, I was going to get this one process done. And he's been our doctor. He retired. And I said, and he decided to come back. I'm like, okay, all right, doctor. And so he lives in Texas, but he flies here twice a month now. And he's the one who originally been working with me for decades. And he said, you know what? That process, that's a good idea. However, it costs more than if we do this. Mm-hmm. And so she ran the numbers. Mm-hmm. And when it came back, he was like, he was like, wait a minute, something wrong here. It's cheaper to go ahead and do what he originally wanted. It's the same price.
I said, you know what? I'm not associated. I'm not like, I'm diehard. I got to come to these people. Oh no. I mean, I love our dentist. I mean, he likes them, but still, if I can find it cheaper somewhere else, I ain't playing that match.
One thing we've been with him for so long too. He says, you know what? He's going to work with.
Seems like they were giving us. I looked it up my dental plan, and cost factor estimate cost in network would have been about 20 the max would be $2,500. However, out of network max would have been $5,400. Seemed like they were getting us the out of network max. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm not committed 100% committed to nobody. So I'm like, look, we'll shop around. Because if you, he's gonna take care of it's us. Like, I don't know where they're coming up with these numbers. I don't know if they double billing or what they're doing.
Even he had to go, what in the world? I mean, I'm getting to
'cause
the
it's
point I'm
supposed to be
ready to join
cheaper.
AARP. Maybe I get a better price.
It's supposed to be cheaper than the any other procedure you were supposed to get, but no, they were.
It was
about
actually
that.
even his jaw dropped. He was like, "What in the world? That's higher than."
That's the way people. I'm telling you, and you know what?
But it's
Because
good
they
to have
can't.
it's good to have a dentist that's honest enough to say, "Hey, wait a minute, that's not right."
Because they
So
can. Why did you
because
charge so much? Because they can.
because his practice, well, it's no longer. He's just a. I'm not sure how the structure his practice works, because he is technically part time. So he just comes to take care of his client, his patients that's been there for a long time, and the atmosphere is totally different when he's there. When he's not there, it's a zen atmosphere. When he's there, it's like 80s and 90s, 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s rock. It's actually pop and rock. It's actually a fun environment. He's a good guy.
I know. I'm sorry that you're talking about your dentist, but I just want to continue before time runs
Yeah.
out. Also, now I have no problem with the other cabinet, Trump's cabinet, whatever it is, what it is, because they really don't affect much. But I really don't care too much for Kennedy. I'm going to say it. I don't really care too much for him, and his thought process is the fact that if you just eat right and you eat organic foods, we should spend more on organic foods.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
That is it, baby. Okay. It's just that I'm not playing it. If you eat, he's just talking about it. It's just a point.
Okay.
And if you eat more organic foods, then obesity would go down. Take a lot of chemicals out of food. But let me tell you something. Now, eating, yes, we all know that, right? We know that if we eat more organic foods, take less chemical-based foods and all that, yes, we're going to lose some weight. Yeah, we know that, right? It's been out all that time. What's happening? People just ain't doing it. Okay? Well. So if you're saying that if we incorporate it, and if you're saying that we're going to take monies away from this point and put it into organic foods and things like that, it's still not helping. It's not going to help with
organic food costs more. That's the situation we're having here in several states. A lot of the egg prices now. Let's be real. A lot of these egg prices, especially in Michigan, is because that the law went in effect on the 1st. If that law had not gone into effect, I don't think eggs would have been as high. And for those who don't know, Michigan state law states that it has to be cage-free eggs, which is still kind of like organic, but cage-free and organic eggs are a little cost more. And
as we were talking, cage-free doesn't necessarily mean they out there roaming the yard. They could be right inside still inside of the plant. I mean, what's the difference? Usually what it really is that fact is there's no antibiotics. They don't give the chickens antibiotics.
That's the organic.
That's the
actually. I love my organic. They do taste better.
I mean, we were buying it anyway, but now it's like now you have to have it. But let me just go back to hear about the whole. And then what he's trying to do is he's trying to eliminate a medication, these weight loss medications such as Ozempic. Ozempic, first of all, is not a weight loss medication. I'm just gonna let you say that. It is geared towards people who have type 2 diabetes, and what it does allow weight loss. So that's the reason why a lot of that not a side effect, honey. Okay. That's the reason why a lot of celebrities were using Ozempic. So it got very popular, and so but Ozempic is also a Danish company. So yes, and they're saying, well, the Danish doesn't even allow it. Well, that's on them, but. But Ozempic was FDA approved. Our FDA approved it for type 2 diabetes. So now only way you can get it is if you have type 2 diabetes. But however, the generic ingredient, the generic ingredient or the active ingredient is semaglutide. Okay, that is what is what the weight loss comes in at. Okay, so now they have a weight loss medication also called Wegovy. Okay, which has you see where it says semaglutide underneath Ozempic in the upper left-hand corner.
That's a big word.
So right semaglutide. Here. So when you're seeing these ads for weight loss, that's what you're getting. But you're getting a compounding agent. You're not actually getting Ozempic. It's a compounding agent. That's the reason why they can charge less. I wish I would have bookmarked it where somebody actually explained how it happens, why the Ozempic was, I believe, Ozempic was patented for, I think either the delivery device or it was patented for, patent for something else. It wasn't necessary. It doesn't have the patent on semaglutide. Mounjaro is Eli Lilly. Okay. Mounjaro is type 2 diabetes also, but they do have Zepbound, which is for weight loss, but they still have the same active ingredient. What's the difference? Whatever they approved, the FDA approved it for, right? There's no difference. It's the same active ingredient. It's just that one is they're using it for weight loss and they're using it for type 2 diabetes. So yes, they both are what caused you to lose weight. It's just that that's what it is. If they are working, back to saying this, if it is working for you, why are they making it so hard of not trying to get it to the people? Why is Kennedy working so hard? Oh, they need to. Yes,
he's a naturalist.
Right. That's the reason why people were getting on Oprah, because she was supposed to have been this advocate for Weight Watchers and just food advocate. And so she's ended up taking Ozempic too. Okay. But you still have to know how to eat. Okay. So that's the reason why if you saw online, all these things online about semaglutide, get it for the same products as Ozempic, same product as Wegovy or whatever. If you see that, I mean, it doesn't hurt to try it. It's just the fact that I will probably be more cautious of who you go to. So Weight Watchers now has it. These weight loss clinics now have it. If it works, why? And if it works, some insurances, like my insurance, they don't pay for weight loss medications. However, they do pay for type 2 diabetes. So, but you have to have type 2 diabetes to get it. So that's the reason why know your benefits, know what you're getting into, know that yes, everything is not going to be charged. Everything is not going to be paid for. So know what you're actually doing here. Know what do you have a deductible? Do you have co-insurance? Do you what type of insurance you have? I mean, do you have an HSA card? Do you have an FSA card? Now HSA cards usually go hand in hand with a PPO. I have an FSA because I have an EPO. Okay, but I do have to match a $500 deductible. But that's because the insurance. I have a problem with it, but there's something I can do about it. I may not know a lot about when it comes to other stuff, but I know my health insurance.
She knows her benefits,
right?
But my answer to Kennedy is training. I have a trainer. Those who don't know, I have a trainer. I've been going since August. Is that August 20? Well, September I started, and in that amount of time, my body mass, you can see, that's my total mass weight, which is different than my weight. But to lose 57.2 pounds in mass, it's because of training, getting movement. If you want to get people to lose weight, the easiest way to lose weight is get up, move around. And
that was the problem. Most people don't want to get up and move around. It sounds good.
Since 2000. So,
right. I mean, that's like, I'm like, okay, honey, we supposed to have worked out today. Did we? We went out, but we went Friday. We went Friday, but today it's just like I got up because I had the situation with the computers, with the one of our servers, one of our internets here, which is, and I'm seeing I have the same issue here, is having issues. And I had to literally reset it I didn't want to go down to our basement, to our IT room to reset everything. So I had to remotely reset it. Then I come upstairs and say, oh, I'm still having issues. But I was fighting that for an hour. So I got up at 3:30, which originally was 2:30. So by the time I got everything going, it was 5:30. I was too tired to even think about going out. Yeah, I think our time is
we won't be able to do number 5. I'll tell you what, we had this here. We'll save this one for later. Best round, find out 5 things you didn't do. We'll talk about that next week. So right now we're going to go into our final remarks.
Yeah, I thank you guys for joining us. We're talking. I hope you got something out of it. We're just more trying to be informational this week. And just letting you know, just be well informed about your benefits, be well informed about DEI, be well informed about, are you doing this are you doing it for you because you want to do it to help the people, or are you doing it just because you're told to do it? So be basically
about your health.
Yeah, just be well informed. And also remember, indiemovietickets.com. Go in to register. It's free to register. We just get in a head count to see who may be interested in watching the re-release of Hosanna the movie.
Yeah, well, you went through that pretty fast. We still
Sorry.
got 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, it's kind of funny because he always goes faster than I do. Yeah, so
Because it's a counter that one day we're gonna do a behind the scenes, like what happens when we'll play that.
Picture, right?
We'll play that when we're on, so y'all can see what we see. Because sometimes y'all don't realize we do have a setup here.
And right. Yeah. So indiemovietickets.com, and we are trying to push. If you I'm posting it on our Facebook page. I've been posting it. People have been seeing it. But we still need you to register. Even if it's no obligation, we're not making, you register, you better pay. No, we're just trying to see who may be interested, and I hope you do it. We may still try to get a theater within April or in May. Again, we're independent movie makers, and our money counts whatever we put it towards. So we have to make sure the budget is there.
Our bills have to be paid.
Unless you want to be a sponsor, we take sponsorships too.
That is something I consider. So I don't know if this camera's going to catch it, but I guess it will catch our screen. So we'll show y'all behind the scenes look. But yeah, basically what she just said, come on over. I extended the actual date so that people can actually get a chance to register and get it in there. You gotta excuse me, I'm having fun here. I extended our date, so now you can actually register basically until I think the end of March, so we can get a head count. We just want to know a head count, so that way we can go to know that, okay, we're gonna make this investment in the theater, and we can put this money down, a couple $100 down. So like we said, we got bills to pay ourselves. Unless you guys, they say, hey, leave us a tip. Leave tips to help us book a theater quicker.
Yes.
So you can always leave tips there. But anyway, like I said, we're now, hopefully we're seeing the behind the scenes thing, what we see. So yeah, I want y'all to see a little bit of what we see on our screen, because a lot of times you don't know why we're rushing out. And there's another screen here I'm looking at to see how much time I really have. Wow, we still have a minute. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Well, anyway, like I said earlier, like she was reiterating, really think about everything that's going on. Just don't sign up. Don't go, okay, I'm gonna do the 40-day against. Well, like I said last week, why don't we just do 40 days of buying in? Let's buy into an industry.
That's what going back to the fishing thing I was trying to explain.
Let's go buy into a business. Instead of saying we're going to boycott a business, let's buy in, because boycotting business equals job losses. Job losses equals economic ruin. So you can literally crash the economy through a boycott. If it was a successful one, it would literally crash our economy. You think it's bad now? Boycott like that for 40 days, you will see a total destruction of the economy. For what? Because you're mad over diversity, equity, and inclusion, which had nothing really to do. I won't go there. But you're angry over something you really don't have, that has no effect on your day to day. I can see if it was going at the EEOC or any other things, EEOC or any employment, equal opportunity employment, then we would have a question. But anyway, as y'all can probably see, we are out of time.
Yes.
And it's counting us down. So as usual, thanks for watching. I'm Darnell.
And I'm Angela.
And thank you for watching Garrison House. We will see you next week on Facebook and Cashmere TV.
Bye.
Bye.